up? What's up? What's up? This your boy Q, the content guy, and I'm coming back at you with yet another review. We are back for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Excuse me, Atlanta. I'm thinking about tonight. Real Housewives of um Beverly Hills. Let me make sure my sound is working. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Make sure my phone didn't connect. We are back for them. This is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I'm just going to say something that a lot of people have probably already said, and I'm going to say it. Mm, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos, Dorit. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not 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 believe that she was robbed this way. A lot of stuff doesn't add up. And as everybody else has been saying, we all know that she was up on the chopping block. And I guess that check and that fame, she didn't want to lose it. I do believe that this was somebody that they knew just doing stuff so she could have a storyline this season. I just do not believe that this happened to her. Sorry. I think it's for the storyline. And people will say, well, why would you say that, people, let me tell you something. This thing called fame, people do a lot of stuff for it. And I just don't believe it. So, and I'll get into more reasons why I don't believe it throughout the show. So the ladies are back after what, a 2-month break, I think. They're back. I don't even know if it was a 2-month break, but they're back, they're filming, and it shows up, and it's like, 3 days earlier before the incident happens. Garcelle and Sutton are down in Miami for a charity event. Lisa and Scammer, aka known as Erica, are down there at Erica's house. They're talking about new ways that Erica could scam and take money from people, how she could find a new husband. And Dorit and PK are in London. So the show opens up with Kyle. She's in the backyard. She's boxing with her daughter Portia. She's saying, Portia is very different than how she was last year. She was going through a very difficult time, and I just didn't know how to help her. Now she's in a much better light. They show Portia's party and all those kind of things, and yada, 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 yada. Sutton and Garcelle are in Miami for Angels for Humanity, which is an event for Haiti that Garcelle is a part of to help feed and do different things like that for the kids of Haiti. And they both talk about how they're single, they're ready to mingle. Lisa, Renna, and Scammer are down in Scammer's house. Her name is Scammer. Erica the Scammer. Erica, her husband, the Scammer, LLC. They are down in Erica's house, and Erica's talking about, I'm back to having sex now, and yay her, and okay. And Lisa's like, I was watching What Happens Live, laying in my bed, watching What Happens Live, minding my business, and all of a sudden I see Sutton on TV, and I'm like, wow, Sutton looks great. And then Sutton's like, well, I invited Lisa and Harry to Elton John's HIV/AIDS event, and they didn't say thank you. And she's pretty much sticking up for Garcelle. Lisa did the fucking most last season about some sauce, and Garcelle's like, no, sis, I thanked you. I just didn't thank you enough, according to you. So she's pretty much giving payback, like, yeah, you don't say thank you either. And now that Lisa has seen this like in real time, she's going back and forth. She's like saying, stuff about Sutton, like your ex-boyfriend is going to doesn't have any money. I'm like, sis, shut up. But anyway, and I'll get more to that later on. And but Sutton's like, hope I didn't do it to humiliate her, and she thinks her and Lisa can get through it. And I'm like, sis, you must not know Lisa Brenner, because that girl can hold a grudge, and she's going to come after you. So be prepared. Sutton shows up at Crystal's house. Crystal's getting her basement worked on. The contractors are like, oh, it's going to be ready in 6 weeks. Sutton like, child, that shit will be ready in 6 months. Well, she didn't say it like how I said it, but that's how I would picture her saying it if she was a black woman. Sutton's like, her and Crystal are in really good places. And I'm sure her and Sutton are in good places after Crystal had to gather her ass last year about seeing color. So I'm sure Sutton and Crystal are in a good place because she doesn't want to be back on Crystal's bad side. She talks about how she had to slip up with Lisa, and Crystal's like, I know Sutton, we're in a good place, but I'm still gonna keep my eye on her pretty much. And Sutton's like, I'm looking to start to go on dates looking for a tall, handsome, educated man who likes cats. So we'll see how that plays out. We're down to the gym with Scammer and Garcelle. Garcelle is not sure where she stands with Erica. Erica talks about drinking and getting fast food, and she knew that it was bad when she woke up and Taco Bell wrappers was all around her bed, and dumb shit. Erica's like, are you going to, Garcelle says, are you going to apologize to Sutton? Erica says, why? Garcelle says, because you threatened her. Erica said, tell me, what did I say? And she's like, you said I want to come for you. And she's like, that could mean anything. Garcelle leans back and is like, Erica. Like, Erica, you knew what you was doing. Like, you threatened that lady because you knew she was probably the weakest one on the cast, or you knew that she wasn't saying much to you. So you went after her because she was asking questions that was concerning. She was asking questions like, what you involved with, and is it going to affect us? You and your scamming ways, taking money from people, is it going to involve us? When the law come, are we going to have to start questioning? So, I understand it. I'm not mad at her for asking those kind of questions. So Erica's like, Sutton talks a lot of shit and people will clack back. Erica's like, Sutton says things, was saying things that haven't been proven. There was no LLC. I didn't have $20 million in it. And, the money was never touched. And I didn't do these things, blah, 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 blah. Hasn't been proven, blah, 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 blah. And Garcelle's like, oh, okay. But then she's like, why is it being reported? If this is true, why is it being reported? So the producer goes to, ask another valid question, like, what's going on? Why hasn't this been proven? Or blah, blah. And she's like, well, Bravo can do their due diligence. They can do the research. They can do this. She start getting real nasty with the producers and shit. I'm like, girl, what the fuck you think you talking to? But that's why I'm not a producer, because I had to cuss Erica fucking ass out talking to me crazy like that with just scamming ass. You down there taking people from money, and she's a fucking liar. She's a liar, and I don't fuck with her. And she's very nasty. And I'm like, you were in the wrong, and people had the right to ask questions. You were in the wrong. Nobody else but you and your old ass husband was in the wrong. So anyway, Doritos is in the back playing, watching her kids play karate. She's on the phone with Garcelle. She's talking about the time that they were in London, how the kids were in the wedding. PK decided to stay in London for a couple more days. So later on that night, we start to move into, like the juiciness of the episode, and which is the break-in that I don't believe. So, let me get the breakdown first on what happened, and then I'll give you more reasons. At the end, I'll give you why I don't believe. I just don't believe this. So let me get my glasses. Give me 1 second, y'all. Got me a new pair of glasses. I'm going to try them out right now. My eyes are getting a little fuzzy, or blurry, I should say. Okay. So, where was I at? So there's a night of break-in. So we see two guys walking up to the house, and they smash the window. They're able to get inside the house. They take all kind of jewelry and bags. They want to know where the cash is at and things like that. They end up leaving with stuff inside of a comforter. She says they came to the bedroom. They had a gun against her head. She thought she was going to die. And she's like, let me help you. I'll show you everything it's at. Just please leave. I just don't want to get hurt. Just don't hurt the kids. They need their mom. The news is all over it. The ladies show up to the house. I think Erica, Lisa, and Kyle show up to the house. The news is outside reporting on this, outside of her house, flying around, which I also thought was kind of interesting because break-ins happen all the time, but the way that this was getting covered, you would have thought somebody had died, or you would have thought the damn president house had got broken into. So it was weird. Erica's like, they could have killed her. They could have killed her. They could have killed her and the kids. They could have killed her. I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. Um, we're at Kyle's house, and Kyle's on the couch crying out her eyes. You'd have thought Kyle was inside the house and this had happened to her. All of a sudden, here comes Sutton with these skinny ass legs. The sun is shining bright. She had this big ass smile on her face. And she's walking up to the house and she opens the door. She's like, I haven't been crying. My eyes are just puffy from the allergies. Kyle is in there going through it. I mean, through it. She didn't call out of work. She can't do no business today. She just sent the kids off. She's sitting on the couch. She is going through it. So she invites Sutton in. She gives Sutton the breakdown. And Sutton's like, wow, because I had to put out some fires also. And Kyle's like, well, what's going on with you? Like, what's up? And Sutton's like, well, gosh, oh, Lord, this French sign I'm bringing in, having problems with immigration. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, I don't know if I can get my designers in the house. It's just a mess. And Kyle like, girl, there ain't no damn emergency. And Sutton's like, it's like the same. It's like the same. Like, I'm having a problem with my business. I can't get the French designer to come in because of immigration. I'll tell y'all. I had to put the TV on pause. I fell on the damn floor. I was like, this lady. But she don't believe this bullshit either. So I'm on Sutton's side. I don't believe that shit. I would be mad just like Sutton be mad. Like, shit, I need my stuff. I done paid all this money for design to come in. And now y'all tripping. I can't get my stuff. I've been pissed too. Because I don't believe that break-in bullshit. And she's like, well, it's all relative. I mean, I didn't have a gun to my head, but it's all the same. And Kyle in her confessional, like, what is wrong with this lady? Is she that self-centered? When I tell you that goddamn scene took me up out of here, and I was like, Sutton, I mess with you. I love me a white, delusional, rich white woman, child. So Lisa's out looking for a place for Harry's 70th birthday party, and she's out with Crystal, and she's just like, I don't know if we should go through this because of what's going on with Dorit. I'm like, child, ain't nothing going on with Dorit. You can go and have that party for him. He didn't help you get to where you at anyway. And she helped you get another damn hairstyle, that raggedy ass hair. I just don't like. I do not like Lisa. I do not like her ass. Ugh. Ever since she threw that drink, let me tell y'all something. You know who be real good on the cast? And I said this a long time ago. Y'all want a white woman that don't give a fuck? Y'all take Kim, Big Papa Zodiac down there, and Kim, Big Papa Zodiac go and get the motherfucking party started. She gonna get them white girl. Erica, you done found your match, sis. If you try to come for them, Kim, Big Papa Zodiac, she don't give a fuck. All right. So we back at Kyle's house, and she they're walking into the kitchen, and Sutton's like, I'm about to start getting hooked up on dates, and Kyle's like, Erica's also single, going on dates, and Sutton like, girl, don't give a fuck about her. And she's like, I don't care if they're rich. Unlike your girl, I'm independent. I'm single. I have my own money. I look for character. Erica's looking for her next meal ticket, pretty much. So, and as Kyle's like trying to defend Erica, Sutton tapping her fingers on the counter, like, girl, hurry the fuck up, because I got my cats at home and I got to see what's going on with this French designer. So, girl, hurry the fuck up. So, she's pretty much saying, I lost my spot. So she's like, I don't care about what you're saying. She's tapping her fingers in her mind. She's like, I don't care about Erica. Why we keep talking about her? I don't care. The way she treated me, I don't give a fuck about her. So Kyle's like, I'm sure Erica went home and cried her eyes out at the Kathy's house after the dinner. Sutton's like, are you serious right now? I'm supposed to feel sorry for her after the way she treated me and the way she was talking to me. Are you kidding? She was being so awful, and no one at the table stood up to me. Like, so no, why should I feel bad? You know who I should feel bad for? Them victims. How about the victims that you took the money from at home crying? They're probably at home crying. She's not at home crying. Go try talking to their families. And Erica's like, Kyle's like, she tried to put this tough bitch persona on and things like that. Let me tell y'all something. Sutton don't give a fuck about Erica, and she sat down there and read the shit out of Erica's scamming ass. And I live for every moment of it, and I agree. I don't want to talk about her. I don't fuck with her. She don't fuck with me. She was talking to me crazy because I wanted to ask some legit questions. Now, I tell you something better than me, because I would have gotten everything that Erica would have presented to me. I would present it right back to her ass. And I would have had that. She would have been down there stuttering, because I would have you getting rowdy with me. I'm gonna get rowdy right back with your scamming ass. But Sutton read her a classy way. But I agree with her. Like, I don't want to talk about her, I don't care. And she's like, it's a double standards, because the men sat down there and talked about her and did this and did that, but yet I'm the one that's being attacked. And Kyle's like, you talking about PK? She was like, and Mauricio, like your husband too. Like, don't forget your husband. And she was like, Erica was mad at me. She's like, oh, was she mad at you? Oh, really? Like, she was mad at you, but she didn't give you all the treatment that she gave me. And again, nobody said anything, so I don't care. And at the end of the day, I'm like, Sutton, you should have cussed Kyle damn ass out, since she want to be involved in every damn thing. Anyway. So it's the next night, and Erica shows up to Kyle's house, and Mauricio comes downstairs. She's like, Kyle, she's like, Mauricio, Erica's like, Mauricio, you hurt my feelings. I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. He like, yeah, sorry. So Lisa Rinna shows up. And what did I say? Oh, she shows up. And then Dorit shows up, and I'm like, this just happened to you like less than 24 hours ago. Why are you showing up to this? I'm like, y'all, like, ain't no way. Y'all would have to come see me. Y'all hoes would have to come to my house. I'm not coming out the house. I just had a gun to my head. They done took all my good shit. They done broke my windows. They could have killed me. They could have killed my kids. And I'm coming to your house to have drinks and relive this. Like, I'd have been. The filming with me would have stopped. I would have been out for at least 2 weeks, a month. They wouldn't have had nothing to film with me. I would have missed a whole bunch of stuff, because I just wouldn't have left out the house. And the only way y'all would see me is when y'all come to my house to film with me, because I'm not leaving out of my house. I probably would have ended up moving or gotten better security. And then, anyway, so, Mauricio comes downstairs and she starts to give him the rundown, and she's like, we were jet lagged. The kids normally sleep with me when PK's out of town, but everybody was so exhausted. So I put the kids to bed. I brushed my teeth. I washed my face. And I hear this like door open, and I got out the bed to look, and I realized it wasn't a little kid. It was a big kid. And the person starts to run towards me, and he grabs me and pushes me down. He's like, I want to fucking kill you. Shut the fuck up. He puts the gun towards her head. He's, she's begging and begging and begging. The other guy's just like, kill her, kill her, kill her. And he's like, where's everything at? Where's everything at? And she's giving this description of what's going on, and she's trying to push those tears out, but don't no tears come out. And I just said this in my love and marriage review. I don't like when people get on TV and they trying to push tears out that does not exist. Kyle ass is over there crying more than the Reed ass. And I'm like, well, who got robbed? So, but anyway, no tears coming out, nothing like that. So then she's like, excuse me, the tears are coming down out of Kyle's eyes. And then like the dog started barking in the backyard, and Dorit's like, oh shit, what's going on? And Kyle's like, chill. My dogs always bark. We got security at the front gate. Like, we good over here. Dude, our coin spent well over here. don't know what y'all doing down there, but over here, we got security, we got people at the gate, the dogs always bark. I'm good. I learned my lesson. So, um, Erica gives her a hug, and Dorit's like, I don't want to be scared anymore. Garcelle shows up, and she's, like giving her a hug and was like, I just talked to you. I just talked to you 5 hours ago. The kids are playing karate. And Erica's like, they had a gun to her head, Garcelle. They could have killed her. They could have killed her kids. There was a gun to her head, Garcelle. Yeah, a gun. Garcelle like, oh, okay, sis. So she continues the story, and she's like, this is why I don't believe the story. So as the guys are robbing her, she's like, one of them grabbed her shoulder and he's pushing her. They've been in the house for like 20 minutes now. Now I've seen the size of Sutton house. It's not a small house, but it's not a chateau. So there's no way that the kids couldn't hear them screaming. Why wasn't the alarm on? She's like, the alarm wasn't turned on because she didn't want the kids to make noise. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I know I was watching one review, and she was like, kids at that age are scared of the dark, so they wouldn't have came out. And I was like, I agree. So I'm like, but then she's like, you guys need to leave because you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So they went from having a gun to your head and talking real calmly and talking real aggressive to you to all of a sudden being real calm, like, hey, by the way, you guys should really leave because you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Like, what? And then she's like, please don't take my phone. Please don't take my phone. And the guy's like, count to 40. Count to 40? And then he was like, put your phone by the gate. What? I know chicks in the hood that then got robbed. They can't, and their phone got smashed up. You talking about some damn count to 40 and then put your phone at the gate. Like, the shit don't add up. And like I said, I don't believe it. I think she did it for a storyline. She knew her ass is not coming back this season. So she needed to keep that job, to keep that check coming, and to keep that fame or whatever going on. But, like, I don't believe it. So, and then I'm like, PK is calling. I'm like, PK keeps calling Kyle. I'm like, why he keep calling Kyle? Why he not calling his wife, who just had a gun to her head, who's been, quote unquote, robbed and scared out of her fucking mind? But you're calling Kyle and like, hey, my flight just landed and Preston, cameras are all out here and everything like this. And I'm like, what is going on? So he gets to Kyle's like, come straight to the house. She gets to the house. PK gets to the house. Dorit runs up to him, and this is where she loses her accent. And she's like, everything's gonna be okay, Bubba. Bubba, everything, the kids okay, Bubba. I'm okay, Bubba. And they kept calling each other Bubba and Papa. And then PK's like, he gives his, like, how he's so scared, and he cried. He got tears in his eyes, and Kyle got tears in his eyes. However, the one who, quote unquote, had the gun to her head and was getting robbed can't shed a damn tear. Then Lisa was like, I have a question. What about Harry's 70th birthday party? PK's like, don't cancel it, and things like that. And they leave out, and PK's like, I left my phone behind. So she's like, okay, go get your phone. I can text you, Bubba. And then he goes and get the phone, and she's sitting out on a bench, and the sirens in the background, and she's scared. I'm okay. Please find the phone. Find it. I'm okay. Find the phone. I'm like, the fuck is going? I don't believe this shit. I do not believe it. I think she is lying. I think she needed a storyline. And until I promise you, she's gonna add more to this break. And either she's gonna add more to it, or they're gonna stop talking about it. Between next week's episode and the end of the season, she's either going to continue to talk about it and add more and more and more to it, or they're going to not talk about it no more. And on top of that, these people ain't been caught, but they had all these cameras, all these security, all these cameras. The news been outside, this and that. Like you goddamn Barack and Michelle. And I don't believe it, y'all. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all can say I'm being insensitive. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I don't believe that shit for a second. And I ain't gonna believe it until I see something different. That's how I feel. That's where I stand. I'm interested in how the season gonna go because we got some more black girls up on the show. And I'm waiting for, and I understand Garcelle might not be that girl. But I guess I'm gonna need you to get these girls together one good time I'm gonna need you to read them for filth where they can never come for you again. And like I keep telling y'all, y'all put Kim Zodiac down there. Go on to go on to add Cynthia because she live in LA. Her man live in LA. Go on to add them to the cast. That'd be a wrap. That'd be a wrap. Them goddamn girls in Beverly Hills wouldn't know what hit them. And get Erica scheming line ass off the damn show. Anyway, it was a good episode. I'm interested to see how the rest plays out. I will see y'all again for Housewives of ATL. I'm trying to figure out if I'm recording Basketball Wives tomorrow. I just don't know because they be always fighting. And outside of Crazy Jackie, it ain't nobody else on that show I like. But anyway, for my Beverly Hills fans, I will see y'all again Wednesday. Peace and talk to y'all later.